Did you know that in 2024, 11.8% of Americans, that's roughly 38 million people, live below the poverty line? It's an astonishing figure that's hard to ignore, and yet, it's a reality many face day in and day out. But what does living below the poverty line even mean? Well, in simplest terms, it refers to the minimum level of income deemed adequate in a particular country. In the US, this is calculated annually by the Census Bureau, taking into account the cost of food, housing, and other essential expenses. Unfortunately, a significant chunk of our population struggles to meet this basic threshold. Poverty isn't just a statistic, it's a harsh truth for millions of people. It's a challenge we must face and understand if we are ever to overcome it. In the next few minutes, let's dive into the facts and figures of the 10 poorest states in America. Starting our countdown at number 10, we find ourselves in Oklahoma. The Sooner State, as it's fondly called, is grappling with a poverty rate that's hard to ignore. It's a state where nearly 1 in 6 people find themselves living below the poverty line. This situation hasn't come out of nowhere. Oklahoma's economy, historically reliant on oil and gas industries, has been hit hard by fluctuations in these sectors. As these industries have faced their own struggles, jobs have been lost, and the ripple effects have been felt throughout the state. Education, too, plays a part. Oklahoma struggles with lower-than-average high school graduation rates and higher-than-average rates of adults without a high school diploma. This lack of education can make it more difficult for individuals to find well-paying jobs, further exacerbating the cycle of poverty. But it's not all gloom in Oklahoma. The state is making strides to combat poverty. There's a push for diversification in the economy, encouraging growth in sectors such as aerospace, biotechnology, and healthcare. Education initiatives are also underway, aimed at increasing high school graduation rates and improving adult literacy. These are not quick fixes, but they are steps in the right direction. It's a tough road ahead, no doubt, but Oklahomans are known for their tenacity. They're not ones to back down from a challenge. Despite the challenges, Oklahomans continue to strive for a better future. Moving east, South Carolina holds the 9th spot on our list. This southern belle, known for its charm, coastal beauty, and historical significance, grapples with a darker reality. Poverty is a pervasive issue here, affecting a significant portion of the population. South Carolina's poverty rate hovers around 16%, making it one of the highest in the country. Several factors contribute to this predicament. The state faces issues with education, particularly in rural areas where access to quality schooling is limited. This, in turn, affects the job prospects of many South Carolinians, keeping them trapped in a cycle of poverty. Furthermore, the state's economy, heavily reliant on agriculture and manufacturing, leaves many at the mercy of fluctuating markets and mechanization. The rise of automation has led to job losses, particularly in the textile industry, once a cornerstone of South Carolina's economy. But it's not all gloom and doom. South Carolina is making strides to combat poverty. Initiatives to improve education, create job opportunities, and provide better access to healthcare are underway. For example, the state launched the South Carolina Promise Zone in 2015. This initiative focuses on revitalizing high-poverty communities by improving education, investing in infrastructure, and fostering economic growth. Despite the challenges, South Carolinians are resilient. Their spirit is evident in the efforts they are making to combat poverty. In the face of adversity, they continue to strive for a better tomorrow. The resilience of South Carolinians shines through as they combat poverty. Heading to the Deep South, Louisiana comes in at 8th. This vibrant state, known for its rich cultural tapestry, sadly also holds a less desirable claim to fame: a high poverty rate. Louisiana's poverty rate stands at an alarming 20%, a stark contrast to the state's lively spirit. This high poverty rate is not simply a number, but a reflection of the daily struggles of countless Louisianans. Several factors contribute to the prevalence of poverty in Louisiana. The economy of the state, heavily reliant on the oil and gas industry, often sees fluctuations that impact the job market. Additionally, the state's educational outcomes, with a high school graduation rate below the national average, further exacerbate the issue. Despite these hurdles, Louisiana is not standing idle. The state has been making concerted efforts to combat this pervasive poverty. There's an increased focus on diversifying the economy, creating more stable job opportunities. At the same time, significant strides are being made in improving the educational system, with increased funding and programs aimed at boosting graduation rates. These initiatives are steps in the right direction, but they are not overnight solutions. The fight against poverty in Louisiana is an ongoing struggle requiring continuous effort and dedication. Louisiana, rich in culture and spirit, continues to face the challenge of poverty head-on. Moving over to Alabama, our seventh poorest state, the heart of Dixie, as it's fondly called, is unfortunately grappling with a poverty rate of just over 22%. This figure is notably higher than the national average, painting a somber picture of the economic situation in the state. So, what's feeding into this high poverty rate? A combination of factors, really. Education, or rather a lack of it, tops the list. With a high school graduation rate that falls below the national average, opportunities for high-paying jobs are somewhat limited for many Alabamians. Furthermore, the state's economy, traditionally rooted in agriculture, has been struggling to diversify and keep up with the rapidly evolving global market. Now, let's not overlook the efforts on the ground to combat poverty. Alabama has seen initiatives aimed at improving access to quality education and fostering economic development. For example, the state has been investing in vocational training programs, providing individuals with the skills necessary to secure better-paying jobs. However, the journey to prosperity is a long one, and it's going to take more than a few programs to significantly lower the poverty rate. What keeps Alabama going, though, is the resilience of its people. Alabamians are known for their strong community ties and unwavering spirit. They remain hopeful and determined despite the economic hardship. Up north, the bluegrass state of Kentucky ranks 6th. Known for its rolling hills, horse racing, and bourbon, Kentucky is also unfortunately marked by its high poverty rate. Over 1 in 5 Kentuckians live below the poverty line, a rate that exceeds the national average. The roots of poverty in Kentucky are deep and complex. One contributing factor is the decline of the coal industry, which has led to job loss and economic instability in many communities. A once thriving source of employment, the coal industry has been hit hard by environmental regulations and cheaper alternatives, leaving many Kentuckians without work. Educational attainment is another issue. In Kentucky, the percentage of adults with a high school diploma is lower than the national average. This lack of education can create a cycle of poverty that is hard to break, but it's not all doom and gloom. Kentucky is making efforts to combat poverty. Programs like the Kentucky Child Health Insurance Program and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program are providing much-needed assistance to low-income families. Efforts are being made to diversify the economy and invest in education to create more opportunities for Kentuckians. Despite the challenges, the spirit of Kentuckians remains unbroken. Known for their resilience, they continue to fight poverty, striving for a better future for themselves and their children. Kentuckians are known for their resilience and continue to fight poverty. Back to the south, Arkansas finds itself in the 5th spot. Known as the natural state, Arkansas is home to over 3 million people, but a significant number of its residents grapple with poverty. In fact, about 1 in every 5 Arkansans live below the poverty line, a rate higher than the national average. This poverty is not distributed evenly across the state. The rural areas and the Delta region are particularly affected, with poverty rates soaring. The reasons are manifold, and they include a lack of access to quality education, limited job opportunities, and an aging population. Despite its rich resources in agriculture, a significant portion of the state's income is concentrated in the hands of a few, creating a vast income gap. This inequality further exacerbates the poverty situation in Arkansas, but it's not all grim. There are commendable efforts being made to combat poverty in Arkansas. State and local governments, alongside nonprofit organizations, are working tirelessly to improve education, create jobs, and provide social services. Their goal? To break the cycle of poverty and provide a better future for all Arkansans. For instance, the Arkansas Career Pathways Initiative has helped thousands of low-income individuals gain access to higher education and job training. This program is a testament to the state's commitment to fighting poverty. Arkansas, the natural state, is working hard to alleviate poverty. Despite the challenges, there's a sense of hope, a belief that the state can turn the tide and secure a prosperous future for its residents. Back to the eastern part of the country, West Virginia ranks 4th. Nestled in the rugged Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia is known for its scenic beauty and rich cultural heritage. However, beneath this veneer lies a harsh reality of economic struggle. West Virginia's poverty rate stands at an alarming level, with nearly 20% of its residents living below the poverty line. This is due in part to the decline of the coal industry, which has long been a pillar of West Virginia's economy. As demand for coal drops, many West Virginians find themselves out of work, grappling with an uncertain future. Underemployment is another significant factor contributing to poverty in the state. Many West Virginians work in low-wage jobs that do not provide enough income to meet basic needs. This has resulted in a high rate of food insecurity, with many families unsure of where their next meal will come from. Despite these challenges, West Virginia is not without hope. Efforts are underway to combat poverty in the state. Educational initiatives aim to equip residents with the skills needed to secure higher-paying jobs. Economic diversification strategies are being implemented to reduce reliance on the coal industry. Additionally, community organizations are stepping up to provide immediate relief to those in need, distributing food and offering financial assistance. West Virginians remain strong in the face of adversity, with efforts underway to reduce poverty. Their resilience and determination are testament to the spirit of this mountain state, as they strive for a brighter, more prosperous future. Heading west, New Mexico takes the third spot on our list. Known for its vibrant culture and breathtaking landscapes, this state unfortunately has a less glamorous side. New Mexico's poverty rate is one of the highest in the nation, with approximately 1 in 5 residents living below the poverty line. A combination of factors contributes to this pervasive poverty. For starters, New Mexico's economy relies heavily on industries like oil, gas, and tourism, which can be volatile and inconsistent. Additionally, the state has a high rate of unemployment, with many residents struggling to find stable, well-paying jobs. Education is another major issue. Many of New Mexico's schools are underfunded and understaffed, which hinders students' ability to thrive academically and limits their opportunities for higher education and well-paying careers. Despite these challenges, there are efforts in place to combat poverty in New Mexico. Numerous nonprofit organizations work tirelessly to provide assistance and resources to those in need. The state government has also implemented initiatives aimed at improving education and creating more job opportunities. But the road to change is long, and progress is often slow. It's a tough reality for a state that's home to such a rich tapestry of cultures and histories. Poverty is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach, and it's clear that New Mexico has a long journey ahead. New Mexico, with its rich cultural history, is grappling with the harsh reality of poverty. Back down south, Mississippi is our second poorest state. With a poverty rate that hovers around 20%, it's clear that the struggle is real for many Mississippians. This economic hardship is not a sudden development, but rather a persistent issue that has been part of the state's narrative for years. Factors contributing to this reality are multifaceted and include lower levels of educational attainment, a higher rate of single-parent households, and a lack of access to quality health care. Education, in particular, is a key indicator of future economic stability, and unfortunately, Mississippi ranks near the bottom in terms of educational performance. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are a number of efforts underway to combat poverty in the state. For instance, there are organizations working to promote literacy and academic achievement among young people, with the hopes of breaking the cycle of poverty. Other initiatives focus on providing job training and placement for adults to help them secure stable, well-paying jobs. Mississippi is also home to a number of grassroots movements working to address systemic issues that contribute to poverty. These include efforts to improve access to quality health care, affordable housing, and nutritious food. Despite the challenges, Mississippians are not standing idly by. They are tackling these issues head-on, demonstrating a resilience that is truly commendable. Mississippians are fighting back against poverty, with hope and determination. Our journey concludes in the Pacific with American Samoa, the poorest state in America. American Samoa, a group of islands in the South Pacific, is a beautiful paradise that hides a harsh reality. The poverty rate here is strikingly high, with over 50% of households living below the poverty line. That's more than double the national average, a staggering figure that cannot be ignored. The factors contributing to this high poverty rate are numerous and complex. Geographical isolation is a major one. American Samoa's remote location makes it difficult to develop a diverse economy. The cost of importing goods is high, and there are limited opportunities for employment outside the tuna canning industry, which is the backbone of the local economy. Another significant factor is education. While the literacy rate in American Samoa is relatively high, the territory struggles with providing quality education and opportunities for higher learning. This lack of advanced education and vocational training restricts the job market and perpetuates a cycle of poverty. Further compounding this issue is the territory's political status. As an unincorporated territory of the United States, American Samoa has limited access to federal funding and resources. This lack of support from the mainland further exacerbates the territory's economic challenges. However, it's not all gloom and doom in American Samoa. There are efforts underway to combat poverty and improve living conditions. Local initiatives are focusing on improving education, developing sustainable agriculture, and promoting tourism to diversify the economy. Meanwhile, non-profit organizations and the American Samoa government are working together to provide social services and support for those most in need. Despite the hurdles, American Samoa is a place of resilience and determination. Its people, known for their strong community bonds and cultural pride, are not standing idly by. They are actively working towards a better future, seeking solutions to their challenges and striving to break the cycle of poverty. Despite its financial struggles, American Samoa's spirit remains unbroken. The islands may be remote and the challenges may be great, but the will of the Samoan people is even greater. They are a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and overcome adversity. That concludes our journey through the 10 poorest states in America. We've traversed from the plains of Oklahoma to the islands of American Samoa, revealing not just facts and figures, but the human stories behind them. These states are home to millions of resilient individuals who, despite the economic challenges, continue to strive for a better tomorrow. Their struggles remind us that poverty isn't just about money, it's about opportunities, education, and access to resources. But the story doesn't end here. Across these states, communities, local governments, and nonprofit organizations are tirelessly working to combat poverty and improve living conditions. They're crafting innovative solutions, from job creation to educational programs, proving that the power to change lies within us all. Remember, knowledge is power. Together, we can bring awareness and help fight poverty. If you found this video informative, consider subscribing for more content like this. Thank you for watching.